So in the first experiment, we realized that experiment can be related to also some social concepts. One of them is race. Since one guy was a person of color, he reacted really different from the other guy, and maybe it's because of his race, because people of color are usually more aware of everything that's going on around them, especially because of whole history about people of color and everything that is going on today and in past 100 years. Maybe he was scared because in past something happened to him that made him now really aware and worried and scared of people. So that's one of social concepts we related this experiment to. The other one is sexual identity. Since two guys did experiment on two other guys, it may be possible that the same guy was really uncomfortable because the other guy was touching him. Maybe the experiment would be different if the experiment did a girl, because people usually don't want to be seen in any touchy situation with some guy with guy or girl with girl if they are not homosexual. So that's the second one we related to, and yeah.
Age and gender can also play a big role in the outcomes of this experiment. So gender-wise, if the girls they would be more uncomfortable if it was an older man or a homeless man that walked up to their table and started picking at their food, and I know I would feel uncomfortable. So, but yeah, women are used to men and older men coming up to their table and just talking to them. It's just we don't really know their intentions, but we can't really show that we don't know the intentions, if that makes sense. But I feel anybody would feel scared if an older man came up to their table, and just guys in general. So from our perspective, we didn't notice anything other people noticed that somebody they didn't know sat down at the table. But from other people's perspective, since the girls didn't make any scene whenever the guy sat down, people would just think that they knew each other, because usually in most cases people would make a big scene about somebody they didn't know sitting down at their table, eating their food, talking to them. So it just looked like the guys knew them, when in all reality they didn't know them. And in most situations, when somebody sits down at your table that you don't know, you'll say what are you doing? Get up. Don't sit here. I don't know you. But they were really cool about it. So it shows you how people view someone just sitting at their table. So for a girl, it'd just be someone just sat at my table. They don't really have a reaction. They think everything through their head. When if you sat at a table with a bunch of boys, they would just kind of be weirded out and uncomfortable, and just they wouldn't know why you sat there, and they'd tell you, they'd ask you, why are you sitting here, we don't know you. When for a girl it's different, because we would obviously just kind of think it in our head. Some girls would say, why are you sitting at the table with me, because I don't know you.
Yeah, it's different from person to person.
Yeah, it depends on the person and how they were raised and the social situation that they were brought up in.
We realized that most of the reactions are based on perspective of some person. That's why we explain why social concepts are very important, because they change people's opinion, people's view of whole thing. I think it's also important to realize how people react to breaking social norm, not just this one, but like each one of them. Like we said, we think social concepts are really have a big role in that, because they literally define how you understand and see something. So I think that's the most important thing in this experiment.
People's reaction to breaking a social norm is just really, I know when it goes through my head, it's just crazy. It's crazy when someone breaks something like a social norm. It's just like, you don't do that. You don't just sit at someone's table if you don't know them. It's just